Mama Africa, your children are home. Hello guys, welcome back to our channel. I'm Anu, the one and only Anu.
And I'm Pablo, just Pablo.
And well, we finally found a good spot to sit down. We're actually at the Bite of Benin ordering food, Nigerian, well, West African food. And the kids are, we brought Elena and Bella, they're playing. And we thought it's a good time to share with you some stories from Uganda. We're
Culture
in Kampala.
shock for you.
So what happened? So we were walking on our street, and we were going, where were we going? I forgot where we were going.
I think we were just going to fetch water or something.
fetch water.
It was something simple, going to a store.
We took
were
all the
walking.
kids.
Yeah, I think I had Elena in front or something, or Tulio, and you had two of the kids behind as well.
Yeah, I remember I had Bella or some kid. Anyways, so and then there was a herd of cows. The cattle were coming our way.
Coming fairly quickly.
Yeah, and
Some
I
of them
saw
with
them.
huge horns.
Yeah.
Sharp ones.
And I saw them, and I realized, I remember, it came back to me growing up in Nigeria, how those horns, they usually have male cows herding them. And those cows, you cannot herd them really. They go whichever way.
They're bulls.
They're bulls.
Bulls.
They're very aggressive, and they will just use their horn to...
Here they're all cows. They're all cows. They're all female.
Well, I did not know that until later on. Anyways, I saw those with horns. The first thing that came to my mind, hide for your life, hide. And I saw him. I
was
Pablo.
walking ahead, right?
Yeah.
And then I hear a yelp behind me. Oh no. And then I turn around and you're like booking it with the girls, like in the opposite direction.
I hid, and then I was like, where can I hide?
In your little Spanx
Where
or whatever you're wearing.
Yeah, I was wearing sportswear. So I was like, where can I hide? Where can I hide? I saw a bush, like a hedge. Someone
We were
went on
fine.
behind it, and I hid behind
We
that
were
hedge.
fine.
Like, peering out, seeing them, they're
And you were
gone.
talking the whole time. Like, oh my gosh. Oh, I can't do this. I'm not. Oh, that's what it was. I heard you say, oh, I can't do this. And you turned around and just started booking it with girls. And I'm like, honey, where are you going? Because I'm seeing all these people walking right by. I see there's some herders there. I see people on their motorcycles just driving right by them. And the cows are fine,
Well,
right?
and I've
I'm just
been
like, you just stay out of their way.
Right, I've been in a taxi. I've been in a taxi where the taxi just whistled. I'll show a clip of that. It whistled, and the cows just move out of the way.
No. Ebola can walk. Oh, I gave me yellow. Me a fellow.
Oh boy, please be careful. And I'm like, when they're used to it. But in my mind, I've had the experience with cattle and their bulls, and they were hurt. My mom had the same experience. They were hurt, and she almost got killed by a bull.
Gored, right? On her face?
Not her face. The thing was about to,
Gore her, yeah.
So they help take the bull away. But that was my experience. So seeing those and the horns, I know, run for your life. That was the first thing that came to my mind, Oh, and you didn't have that experience.
Well, true, I didn't have that experience, but at the same time, I was watching,
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to observe, because again, I'm not from here.
Right,
So I try to observe things, and I see, okay, are other people running? They're not. Are other people close to the cow, closer than we are?
Are other people Nigerian? No, they're not.
You just had bad experiences.
Yes, until later on, we were coming back, and we saw them. We went to their house. They have a little farm. It's not too far from our house, and they were just grazing, just eating, and they were milking them. I'm like, wait a second, they're all cows. They're all females. I'm like, I shouldn't have been scared of females. Yeah, the bulls are the ones that will kill and hurt you, but the females are very kind, gentle. If you don't try to push them, go to their way, they will stay away from you, they'll just go their way.
But this is not Pamplona. This isn't the running of the bulls, right? It's not like you're going to get gored. And again, I watched first and I saw, okay, you know what? I'm gonna stay out of their way.
Yeah.
They're coming fast, so obviously I'm not going to stand in front.
Oh no.
So I will stay to the side, right, and let them pass by. And I saw people, just scooting right by them, like kind of pushing them to the side so they could walk by them or get by them in the motorcycles. And I'm like,
and here I am in my bush in the hedge that I was hiding at, trying to peer out. Okay, people are they're almost gone. I will see them walk by me. They're almost gone. Okay, they were not gonna come here. I'm in the hedge. I'm protected here.
So that was
Me and Bella.
one of your
Funny
culture
stories.
shocks,
Yeah.
right? But the other one, and I've got to say this, is about the Spanx.
Could you not talk about the Spanx? There's nothing wrong with Spanx.
Okay. So I married you. You're a Nigerian.
Okay.
Right? Nigerian American-ish, but mainly Nigerian. And you've been more and more Nigerian, right? Being in the U.S. You were more Nigerian in the U.S. than you were back in Nigeria. Then you come here.
Yeah.
And suddenly, you're wearing things, you're acting ways that are the most American I've ever seen. And I'm like, you're going out in that, you're doing this.
Okay. Yes, I've been in America too long, and I live in America coming to here. I realize I've been more American than I thought I would. Because in America, I can tell everyone, yes, I'm Nigerian left and right, Until I came here and I realized, there's nothing wrong being American, but I didn't know that I was that American. But now I'm humbled to know that I act
you weren't
American.
until you came here. Now you're acting more American than you acted back
also,
in the US.
we're listen to some of the music that we left back. I guess it's maybe a little, just missing America, just a little bit. I guess that's
That's true.
happening.
She turned on music that was like super American, indie, whatever, I don't know, which I had never heard you listen to before. Like I was like, honey, why are you turning this on? Usually when we were back in the US, you'd be turning on like Afro beats.
Oh yes.
You'd be turning, we listen to some calypso, we listen to, things like that, but like never indie stuff. You're like, oh, that's depressing. Oh, that's dark. Oh, that's whatever.
Well, it just turned on Spotify, but then I'm like, no, we don't want that. So we do some
You
Afro
listened
beats.
to it for a while.
It was just playing by itself. It was playing. I played something. It was playing. Anyways, but I think the more farther away you are from where you've lived for the longest, the more maybe you miss it a little bit, and you start acting the most about that country. You start acting it out the most. But you don't do that.
No, I think most people do. I think most people are like that. I've
Except for the
observed
weird
that.
one.
I'm weird. Yeah, I'm weird.
Yeah.
I guess. I mean, I focus on the place we're going. I try to prepare for that.
Yeah.
And because I take people's advice, and they say things like, wherever you're going, prepare for the best. Like, in other words, think of it as, okay, this is going to be a great experience. I'm going to make the most of it. I'm going to enjoy it. And so that's what I think of, and so that's what we do. I mean, for me, the culture shocks, they're there.
Yeah.
But it's more of like, an observation, and like, oh wow, this is very different. But one nice part, and this is what I recommend for anyone traveling abroad, whether it's for like a day or whether it's for life or whatever, always go without judgment. Just know that people are people everywhere, right? Everyone's the same. It's
true.
just they go at the same problem slightly differently. We all have the same problems, right? We all have the same needs. We need to eat. We need to be respected. We need, things like that. And it's just done differently, right? So, for example, if we went to Nigeria, the idea of respect is very different from the idea of respect here. It's still there. It's just enacted differently.
Yes.
I mean, even within the United States, like me going to, the Midwest, coming from the South, it was like, everyone's, to me, seemingly disrespectful because they all use the first name. They don't use like sir, ma'am. They don't say that. They just say first name. Doesn't matter how old the person is. Which to me was like a cultural shock. Coming to Midwest, but they still had respect. They were very respectful. And very soft-spoken, very well-spoken, whatever you want to say. So everyone, they show respect differently, but they still have it. It's not. I could have come to the Midwest and said, these people are so disrespectful. These youngsters are calling these older people these names. No, that would mean that I'm ignorant. I don't understand how they do it. So the same here in Uganda. It's like, okay, so everyone's very soft-spoken. Everyone's very careful. And then even when they have disagreements, they're very quiet. Things like that. And I see that, and I'm like, okay. Wow, they're actually very respectful, and I'm actually very loud here, right? So I need to learn how to not turn people off by being too loud, for example. Even now, I'm talking too loudly. But I mean,
one day I guess I'll do a survey of what they think of the West Africans, what the East Africans think of West Africans. There's a lot of shocking stuff there. Anyways, but another shock, another culture shock for me is that I mean I already knew that this was going to happen. Is everyone here? They would think like you guys came to Uganda. You must have like I have ancestors. I have family here. That's why we came back. Oh, I'm from abroad. I came back home. This is home.
I mean, that's what they think.
That's what they think. And I'm like, and they'll see me. Of course, they'll start speaking. There was one conversation we had with the lady in the supermarket. She was helping us with in the supermarket, and she looked at me, and she smiled. And I'm like, oh no, I know what's gonna happen. She's gonna start talking to me. And of course,
Uganda, the local language.
Yeah, and then of course, she was saying, I forgot what she said. She said, some Burundi or something. I'm like, I suppose I'll say the same thing back to her. I'm so sorry, I don't understand much Uganda. But I knew everywhere I go, people will see me and they will expect me to speak.
They do that all the time.
All the time.
They will talk to me and then they're like, oh, well, she will know how to do this.
Like, no, I'm not. I'm from where he's from.
They're always like, but Madame here, she knows, she can do all this,
Oh my gosh.
And then I'm not from there, like, but you're African, aren't you?
Oh.
Yes. And they're like, well, then you know how to do all these things. You're like, no, it's a totally different context that I grew up in.
But,
and plus, things have changed in the past, 15, 17 years?
17 years, since I've been there, lived in there.
Things have been modernized. People have whole different systems of doing things.
A lot of things have changed, definitely. So, but I'm learning. Well, it seems like Uganda is going to adopt us, so we're learning the language and the culture, so that's good.
Well, I have to mention one more culture shock, right? So, I guess most people would be shocked by, for example, and this is also responding to some comments that people have made on some of our recent videos.
Yeah.
And it's a way of thinking where it puts moral judgments onto or values, I should say, onto certain things, and so it makes it harder for you. So when you go abroad, and if you have an idea that the way things are done where I come from are the way, right, or the best way, then when you see something that's different, you judge it as, they could learn from us, right? They could do something better. They should be doing it this way, and they're not, because obviously where they come from, if things aren't done that way, then it means people are slacking, and it's true, right? You could potentially make a moral judgment in your own country about those things, but when you come to a different country, and you see something that looks like slacking off or something different, right? Not as organized, not as whatever, then it's easy to make a moral judgment. So what I say is, when you're going abroad, keep an open mind and say, no, people are people. They have different systems, they have different history, and different way they came at things, and different results. So for example, here people see the traffic, they see that no one follows the rules, right? There's traffic lights, sometimes they work, sometimes they don't, sometimes people follow them, sometimes they don't. But the thing is, what I see coming from the US is that, okay, we came from a system of rules, and even the police enforce the rules, and so we expect everyone to follow the rules. To me, the danger of that is you're not using your brain, right? You're following rules, and so you can be like, oh, I'm on my phone, right? I've got my Tesla, it drives itself, I'm on my phone, whatever.
And then there's green light, you go, when you don't know that someone is about to
exactly. Or what if there's a maniac? Or not even a maniac, what if it's someone who's not paying attention, right? Or what if it's someone who just drives differently? And suddenly, and they're not following the rules. Or maybe they are following the rules, but you aren't focused because you're on your phone. Whatever. People in the US, I feel like they get in more dangerous accidents.
So many unnecessary accidents happen that way.
Because they're expecting everything to be a certain way. They're like, oh, this light is this, I'm going to go, even if there's a car coming. And it's like, no. You don't go because there's a car coming, right? And if we're not using our brains and we follow that, it's more dangerous. I mean, there's pros and cons, right? But that's the way it's done in the United States, at least. But in countries like Uganda, for example, parts of Mexico, things like that, it's very similar, where
Nigeria,
people use their brains only, right? It's like, I'm going to use my brain. There might be markers, there might be lines, there might be things like that, but those are like guidelines that you can use if you need, but you don't have to, right? Because you mainly want to focus on people. So you make sure you make eye contact with people.
Yeah, we see people looking at left and right, looking at people who's driving.
It's, for me, it's like watching a flock of birds, right? A massive flock of birds or a massive school of fish, and they're moving in all different directions, right? It looks like mayhem, and yet they don't hit each other. And it's like, how does that work? And sometimes they make beautiful movements,
Yes,
right? How do they do that? People can do that too. And you'll see that in these massive intersections and stuff. You'll see, like, if you're in Cairo or wherever, you know, you're going to see these massive intersections. And these people were able to move without any lines, without anything. An American would be freaked out. He'd be like, where are the lines? Where are the rules? Where are the lines? I can't function, right? But in this case, people use their brains and they can think. And it's like, okay, here's these millions of people, and I'm able to pick up on each little detail. This person looked this way. This person, they're not watching me, so I'm going to slow up. There's a motorcycle here. There's a bicycle here. There's a pedestrian here. I'm going to slow up. Yeah.
You know, you're talking. I am an American, right?
Oh, wait, because you're acting like that.
Yes.
Okay.
I still cannot drive here. I am like that. Where's the road? Where's the line?
So for me, driving here, I mean, I would love to drive here. It's obviously a steep learning curve, right? Because I've been around so many rules and stuff. I've been driving like a robot for so long, which again has its pros and cons. But here, there are also pros and cons, right? Sometimes you can't go through things. You know, maybe it's hard to pass. It's going to take a while to pass. But just the fact that, you know, I want to be able to learn, you know, how these people are able to think, how they're able to drive, how they're able to do this, because it's fascinating, it's amazing. I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
It's a different way of thinking, a different way of doing it. It's beautiful to me. When I see this.
There's definitely order in the chaos. I've seen that so far, but I'm learning. I don't know how to drive here yet.
Yes.
I will learn. But
we will try it.
But now we're having our appetizer. It's arriving, the yams and the
I haven't had West African yam in so long.
We'll ask them where they find it, where the guy have it in Uganda. We want someone who sells these things. We would like yam, you know, the West African yam. And anyways, well, that will end this vlog because we're hungry. We need to eat. Thank you guys for watching. You can catch our day-to-day post on Instagram, Facebook, as well as TikTok, Familia Pablanu. Well, live and direct from Kampala, Uganda. We say, how do you say? I forgot how to say bye-bye in Uganda. I like to say "we balenyo." It says thank you. That's all I know. Well, I know
we
more.
Balenyo.
We balenyo. So until next time, odabo.
Odabo.
Bye. Adios.
Ciao.